Joining me now is Illinois Congresswoman and Election Integrity Caucus member Mary Miller. Thank you so much for being here. I think they're running out of excuses at this point, other than they just want to say no. Where are we at with all of this?
Well, they're unashamed about trying to hang on to their power. But there's two things going on here at the Capitol this week. And one is funding Department of Homeland Security and continuing our deportations. And the other is voting on this election integrity bill. And it goes back to the fact that under Joe Biden, the Democrats all supported his policy to facilitate the invasion of our country by tens of millions of people. And the whole goal of it was to bring in voters. They have bad ideas that the Americans have rejected. That is why they're so opposed to deportations. And that is why they're opposed to voter ID laws, because they want those illegals to be voting for them.
Yeah, and you know, I had a Democrat on the show last week, Joe Walsh, not the musician, and we were talking about, he said there's never been any proof of an illegal alien casting a vote. And then I kind of read through the statistics that, in fact, in several states, illegal aliens have voted. And then there was a report just the other day showing how many illegal aliens not only register, but also participate in our elections. It's like, this is almost like the ultimate bait and switch, because while Chuck Schumer calls it Jim Crow 2.0 and acts as if this is some sort of racial issue, the reality is it has nothing to do with race at all. They, like you just said, they're trying to protect the ability of legal aliens to vote to help give them some sort of crazy advantage. And we've seen some of the schemes in places like Minnesota, right, where you can vouch for people, or California, where they've rejected calls for voter ID. Why are the Democrats so afraid of a fair election when everybody's okay with it? Do we really? I mean, will they lose if people have to prove who they are?
Yes, and they should be afraid. They have terrible ideas. They orchestrated the invasion of our country by the worst of the worst. They brought in murderers, rapists, drug dealers, gangbangers, and now they are fighting to keep them here. It is unbelievable. Their ideas are terrible. Every single Democrat voted against the Working Families Tax Cut Act. They lie. They say they're for Americans, they're for affordability. Well, I mean, if they are, why did they vote against tax cuts for regular working class Americans? Why are they trying to hold on to the illegals that are here? If we deport them, we will have affordability, because we'll see healthcare costs and housing costs go down. We'll see overcrowding in schools and emergency rooms diminish. It's only good for the American people to pass voter ID laws and to deport the illegals. But it's bad for the Democrats because they need them for votes. It's all about votes.
Going into 2026, because I think you're exactly right. Republican policies beat Democrat policies hands down almost on every issue. The problem we've had is we as a whole, we're losing the messaging battle. I mean, if you saw the special election in Virginia, New Jersey, and New York, they won on the issue of affordability when their policies do anything but create affordability for people. How can we win on this messaging going into 2026? Because I agree, our policies are better. Is the Republican caucus as a whole talking about that messaging and how we can have a unified message of showing the American people how much better their lives are with Republicans in charge?
Well, the message is that people need to go out and vote. The reason that we would lose in the midterm isn't because that our policies aren't great for Americans. It's that the left is madder. And so they'll show up to vote because they're more razzed up about it. And where we get complacent when things seem safer and better and more affordable. But no, we have to get out to vote. Every vote counts. We need to get our neighbors and our family members, people that you work with at business, tell them what's at stake here. If the Democrats win the House, it'll be impeachment constantly. We won't get anything done for the American people. President Trump has he has done amazing things in 1 year. What he has accomplished is completely unbelievable. Securing the border for 8 months, consecutive months. We've had zero border crossings. We're getting the deportations done. That's what people voted for. He told them what he was going to do, and he's doing it. It's securing the border, deporting illegals, and restoring law and order, and also restoring our economy back to where Americans can thrive. Joe Biden did immeasurable damage to our economy, wild, outlandish spending, throwing it away, shutting down American energy. Everything goes back to energy and over-regulating industry, overtaxing people. It was terrible policies. People, you have to get out to vote if you want to continue to be free and have opportunities.
I agree with you completely. You guys, you have to vote like your country depends on it, because it does. Congresswoman, thank you so much for being here.